This is how I make $100,000 a month at the age of 23, and that's profit. That's not after tax. That is just profit in the business that I run. And some months it's even more like 200,000 profit or 250 profit. But 100 is a very predictable baseline level of profit in the business. And this is going to be for the absolute business beginner. This is somebody who has never run a business before, doesn't even know where they would start. You know, you're probably just sick and tired of being broke, of being in a place in life where you don't have the movements, you don't have the options to be able to move and experience life the way you want to experience it. And so this video is just kind of to help you out. And I'm going to give you three key ideas that help me do this, okay? Like that actually help me build this out. Okay, and the first, I'm just gonna get right into the very first one, is I picked an industry, not a business model. So I think it's really important that instead of picking a business model, like, you know, for example, a business model would be like drop shipping. Very popular beginner model, kind of a bit of like a guru-y thing, but it is a business model. Instead of picking, you know, drop shipping, pick e-commerce, okay? Selling physical products online. And start to go in that direction and start to get familiar with e-commerce, right? I did this, so I picked the information industry on the internet. So my business is I help people start online coaching businesses, which is not for everybody, right? So if you're watching this, odds are I don't have something to sell you, okay? So it's not for everybody, but it's for people that, you know, have expertise and they want to package it and sell it. That's what I do, okay? And so that's what I picked. So I picked the information industry, and at first I actually didn't do a program like that where I coached. I used to have a marketing agency. So I helped these information product business owners grow their businesses with Facebook advertising, building better marketing systems, etc. Okay, marketing funnels and whatnot. And that's what I did. So first is pick an industry, not a business model, because within the information industry, for me, I've been able to do a lot of pivots. Like, you know, I've got this lower tier program I help people start, and we've got, you know, our clients are worth, you know, almost $100,000 to us when they grow with us to get to, you know, $1 million or more a year, depending on the client relationship. And so because of that, I can make pivots, and we even have, you know, coming soon, maybe a more involved done for you service again. So kind of going back to my roots at the agency. So if you pick an industry, you can build a reputation within an industry. But if you pick a business model and you chain yourself to a business model, it's hard to make pivots, and it's actually really hard to expand, okay? Not only is it hard to expand, but it's hard to pull lessons from other people, you know? Like the lessons you learn that make a dropshipping store really, really work, you're gonna learn by studying, you know, brands. They're not dropshippers, they actually own their private label product or whatever, right? But you can learn from them how they run their team, how they run their organization, how they run the systems, how they track the numbers, whatever it is, right? And from those lessons, right, you can build a successful dropshipping store. So it gives you the ability to learn from everybody you need to learn from. And this helped me. So going into the information industry, it's like, I don't care if you sell a course on freaking how to make bread, or you sell a coaching program, a high ticket coaching program to save marriages. I don't care. What I'm interested in for me was just the principles. And this is number two here, is once you've picked an industry, study the principles that make that industry work. So don't just pick an industry, but pick an industry and then study its principles. So in the information space, in the coaching space, you know, as I sort of studied, I found that there were three main reasons why people bought information products, and especially expensive coaching programs. There's three main reasons, and I discovered these. And like with e-commerce, you could sort of, as you start to study and learn and be in mastermind groups or whatever it is that you're gonna do, right? Read all the books or buy courses or whatever, I don't know. You're gonna start to sort of connect the dots and start to see, oh, this is what makes a store work, or this is what makes a store not work. And by picking, again, an industry and then trying to connect the dots and find the common patterns amongst all the successful individuals, you'll start to be able to act with more certainty. Instead of just working in strategies or methods, you're working from principles. You're working from base core components that work no matter what. And every industry has these, right? It doesn't matter which industry you pick. Say you pick to go into real estate, right? Like there's, I'm sure, certain key principles that if you're trying to get into real estate investing or flipping homes or something, you know, like if you just focus on these 2 or 3 things, then every single home flip will go well. And I just think it's a lot of people overcomplicate the moving pieces. So they're looking for strategies or methodologies instead of studying the base core principles that make things work no matter what. Okay, and I hope that makes sense. So first, pick a industry, not a business model. I'm gonna roll up my windows because I got some bugs coming in here. Pick an industry, not a business model. Second, look for the dots that connect. Okay, and then the third here is, and this one's gonna sound cheesy because obviously the space that I'm in, obviously I'm biased to say this, but find a mentor. So you need to get in the right rooms and learn from people that have done it. Okay. Every time I either pay to be in the right room or work with a coach or get in a mastermind environment, or I just invest into relationships, you're really paying for your knowledge debt. So right now, because you don't know how to get this business to 100,000 a year or $1 million a year or 10 million a year, because you don't know how to do those things, every single year you are paying that much in debt. You're losing that much every year because you don't know how. And it's not just knowing. I've found that when I enter into rooms with people who are at a level that I want to be, there's a certain way that these people think. There's a certain way that they view things, and I'm able to be like, oh wow, you see it that way? I've always seen it this way. That makes sense that you've been able to do that, and it's breaking your false beliefs. It's breaking your preconceived ideas, and that is what gets you lasting results, is when you can break your current view of things. So if you have a mastermind environment, or you have a coach, or you have something like that, or even just a book, you don't have to spend a lot of money, even just books, or people in the space that are popular online, or whatever it is, stay a student and get in the right rooms and learn from these people. And I'll add a fourth thing here. I know I said I was gonna do three, I'm gonna add a fourth thing though. What really got me to a 6-figure a month level was making deep personal sacrifices. I don't think people necessarily understand the amount of sacrifice and the amount of true grit and work and consistent daily input that it takes to get somewhere meaningful. I think people, honest to God, if they're honest with themselves, they just want the good stuff. They just want the money. They just want the popularity. They just want the status. They just want the rewards of it. You have to fall in love with the process. Fall in love with the process itself, not just the rewards. The rewards are a part of the process, but they're not really what you need to care about. You need to fall in love with the process, the numbers, the boring stuff, your profit and loss statement, right? Your customer satisfaction reports, your refund rate, these things that really help you, actually run a solid business. Okay, fall in love with that stuff. And as sort of a fourth point as well, you go into a season of deep personal sacrifice. Deep personal sacrifice. What I mean by this is if you put it on a journal, I'm not doing anything for the next 3 years except growing this business. For example, that's all I'm doing, right? I promise you, if you actually mean it and actually want it, you can do it. It's people who don't actually want the thing and don't actually mean it that don't get it. I believe that we live in a very just, universe. I believe God set up the universe in a very just way. And what you have right now, you rightfully deserve. There's no hidden force that's held you back, no childhood trauma, no, neglectful business partner, no ex-girlfriend or boyfriend or spouse or anything that's holding you back. We live in a just universe. Everything is even. Everything is causal. There's cause and effect relationships between everything. Your actions have created your current reality. So in order to go into a season of deep sacrifice, write off 2 to 3 years in your head. These years are gone. They're already gone. Like, I'm not going to do anything fun or over the top in this time. I'm just going to focus in and make this a reality for myself. The second thing is get very clear on what specific those tangible goals are. You can't just say, oh, I want to grow this business. Not good enough. How much revenue do you want to bring in every single month? Exactly. And then based on your current knowledge, what is stopping you from getting it to that revenue level? What do you think is stopping you? Now go find experts on those things and learn from them and stay a student. Get humble. Guys, it's not hard to win if you're just humble, honestly. And I'm not even calling myself humble. Like, I'm a 23-year-old kid and I've made more money than I really need. So I don't know if I'm necessarily humble in that sense. I do believe, honestly, that I deserve what I have, and because I've put in the work, I'm better than people that haven't, that want it. If you don't want it, then we're equal. But if you want it, right, and you haven't gotten it, then I'm better, because we are in that hierarchy together, right? Money is a measurable game. But if you don't want it, you're not even playing this game that I'm playing, then we're completely equal. You know what I mean? I don't see myself as above or below. But when I say humble, I mean people can speak into your life, into your head, and into your heart, and speak to you and say, listen, you're thinking this way, you need to think this way instead. And you don't listen to people that aren't where you want to be. So if they're gonna speak to, if you're gonna listen to anybody, you need to listen to people that actually have done what you want to do, with a proven track record. They've actually done it. Okay, this is my advice. Okay, if you go through a 2 to 3 year sacrifice phase, if you pick an industry, not a business model, look and listen for the principles, trying to find and connect the dots as to what makes things work and not work, okay, and then you get mentorship, you get help, you get that advice, then you sacrifice 2 to 3 years minimum, which is not that much time, really. Like, it's 2 to 3 years of your life for pretty much the rest of your life, is how I see it. If you can sacrifice 2 to 3 years of your life for the rest of your life, it's always worth it, in my opinion. And this is what I did probably a couple years ago. I really went through a tough season. 2 to 3 years of, like, really all I cared about was the business. Now I've got a kid coming, I'm married, all this stuff. I'm kind of enjoying life a little bit. I don't have as much pressure on myself right now, but there's still pressure. And it's more like pressure environmentally. It's not really coming from me. It's like, oh, I don't want to go broke when I have a kid. You know what I mean? So I want to keep the business running for whatever reason. And it's honestly not healthy. Like, I want to get back to a place of it coming from me and it being something that I want to do for me, because that's when it's best. So that would probably be my 5th tip, actually, is dislocate the personal gain from the process. You know, if Michael Jordan were on a basketball court and he were trying to shoot like a 3-pointer, right? In the back of his head, he's thinking, oh man, if I miss this, then I can't buy that house for my wife. It's like, that's so stupid. Like, just play the game and get really good at the game and allow the rewards of playing the game well to be downstream from playing it well, and don't think all about the rewards and what's in it for you and what ifs and everything like that. Just play the game, right? And you need to fall in love with the game for the game's sake. And the people who do the best, you know, sure, they might enjoy the rewards a little bit here and there, but the rewards are in their place. The car, watch, house, what, all the BS, right? It doesn't matter to them. What matters to them is the results. What matters to them is growth. What matters to them is more money in the bank. What money does for them, they almost don't care. They're just obsessed with getting it. And maybe sometime soon, at some point, when they want to make a purchase, they'll make it. But it's not about that. It's not about what money gets them. It's about getting and falling in love with the process in of itself. So, guys, I know this is more of a mindset video. If you want, I've got linked in the description. It's a step-by-step video. It's just it was like a seminar, webinar that I put together on how to, if you wanted to start a coaching business, how to do that. But again, I think there's easier, like, true beginner business models. Like, if you've never done anything before and you don't have any skills and you're awkward and shy and you don't know, where to start, like, probably not the best business model. But if you are obviously a little more extroverted, you enjoy working with people, and you want to have impact on people, it's the best business model. So, links in the description to that. Enjoy that. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.